Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Let's talk about the state of things within the XRP ecosystem as it pertains to market activity, as well as the broader crypto asset class, because I'll tell you here right out the gate that XRP right now, by various metrics, is at historic extremes, and I've been citing these recently. For instance, the Bollinger Bands are at the tightest they've ever been in the history of XRP, even tighter than in 2017, and that is crucial to be aware of because Bollinger Bands, although not an indicator of whether or not something's going to break up or down, it's an indicator that something is about to happen. A big move is about to happen. That's what these indicate. We're seeing the tightest ever in history, the over 10-year history of XRP. We're seeing the RSI, Relative Strength Index, the lowest in history. We're seeing XRP price against Bitcoin recently the lowest in history. You can look at XRP market dominance, percentage as a percentage of the total crypto market cap, lowest in history. And a couple of those might sound bad on the surface, but the reason I'm sharing this with you and the reason I'm excited about all four of those things is because when these things occur in unison, historically, it has only happened right before XRP melts faces. That's the moment we're in right now. That's why this is exciting. And what else is happening in crypto? As soon as I get into the video out of this intro, I'm gonna start by showing you something that I found very exciting, because with the nature of decentralized cryptocurrencies, you can see what's happening on the blockchain, right? Wait till I show you what's happening with Bitcoin, because if history is to repeat, that bad boy gonna blow. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. As I record this video, XRP is just shy of 52 cents, Bitcoin at $67,688. So more trading sideways for over 2 months at this point. Crypto Fear and Greed Index, 72 out of 100, so we're still in greed, but we're just range bound. Not going to stay here for long, though. Take a look at this. This is a post from, I got two from this guy, Ki-Young Zhu. He is the founder and CEO of Crypto Quant. The first one is from years ago. It's from September 10th, 2022, and then I got a brand new one from him. But here's the one from September 10th, 2020, and this is telling. Check this out. The number of Bitcoin transferred hits the year high, and those transactions are not from exchanges. Fund flow ratio of all exchanges hits the year low. Something's happening, possibly OTC deals, meaning over-the-counter deals. Excuse me. And so if you are looking to make a relatively large purchase in the world of crypto, you don't need to just hop on an exchange and just check out whatever the order books are showing and then make some purchase. No. You're going to get some, elite attention, right? If you are one of the big boys, and actually some of the exchanges, maybe all of them do, at least, probably most of them at least, do offer over-the-counter transactions. So if you're going to make a big enough purchase, you can go to the exchange or whatever the source may be that offers over-the-counter transactions, and all that it means is that you can make a larger purchase, and it will be behind the scenes, so you can view it. You can see it on the blockchain because stuff's actually happening, but it won't be visible to the everyday people out there buying and selling on exchanges because it's not hitting the order books. So you won't see it on the exchange, but you can see, since the transactions are literally occurring, you can see them on the blockchain. And in fact, this is how, for instance, MicroStrategy, when they got into Bitcoin years ago, they didn't move the price of Bitcoin, initially at least, not at all. It was not visible. Nobody knew that they were making these crazy large purchases. It was all done behind the scenes because it was over the counter. So yes, ultimately it does impact the supply and demand dynamics, but what I'm telling you is it's happening behind the scenes. Nobody is aware. It's not impacting the supply and demand dynamics immediately on various cryptocurrency exchanges. That's the distinction, right? And so what he was seeing here, September 10th, 2020, and this was, this is a few months before Bitcoin got back up to the then all-time high of close to $20,000. A few months before that, and he's saying, guys, a lot of on-chain activity here. A lot of on-chain activity. What's up with the exchanges, though? Interesting, right? And so he reposted that just yesterday, and he's like, looks like the same thing's happening again. Here's what he shared. I'll make this full screen for you. He says, same vibe on Bitcoin as mid-2020. Back then, Bitcoin hovered around $10,000 for 6 months with high on-chain activity, later revealed as over-the-counter deals. Now, despite low price volatility, on-chain activity remains high, with $1 billion added daily to new whale wallets, likely custody. Well, how about that? So what do you think this means? Price has been ranging for a couple months or so at this point, but this level of on-chain activity, it's not coming from the exchanges, or at least not from what we see in terms of what the typical retail speculator would see, what they'd be interfacing with. It's not those order books. No. That's not what's going on here. So what do you think it is? Might it be the rich people positioning themselves for the next move up? Admittedly, nobody knows for sure, but it's more than a little curious, right? We saw what it was last time. I'm going to hazard a guess, especially in the with the backdrop of everything else going on in crypto and everything else that's happening in traditional markets like equities, because we know that crypto being cryptocurrencies are risk on assets. They're treated the same as stocks because stocks are risk on assets. They move in tandem. Despite the BS narrative about Bitcoin is the hardest sound money and this and that, and it's whatever, forget it. The truth is, and it's provably true, is that there's a very strong correlation between what happens in crypto and the stock market. That just is the case here. So against the backdrop of all of that, and all of these incredible metrics specifically for XRP, what do you think is going to happen? Because I'm expecting this to blast to the upside to whatever degree. I don't make price predictions. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, whatever. But I expect it's going to blast to the upside. I firmly believe what's most probable is XRP is absolutely going to participate in the alt season when it goes and hit a new all-time high and enter price discovery. Because I'll tell you this, if it doesn't, this would be the first time that we've had the alignment of these historic extremes for the various metrics I cited at the outset of this video. It would be the first time all those are hit, and it was just nothing happened. I don't think that's the most probable occurrence. I just don't think so. Here's a post from chart analyst Ali Martinez. He was also noting the whale activity. He said over 37,000 Bitcoin have been withdrawn from crypto exchanges in the past 72 hours, worth around 2.53 billion XRP. Actually, take that back. I was thinking it was the whale one. That was not the whale comment. But regardless, the reason I wanted to highlight this one is because crypto going off of exchanges, that's usually not what happens if people are about to sell, meaning dump on the market, price go down. Yeah, the opposite is happening. It's going off of exchanges. This is happening again as we're seeing all of this increased activity on the Bitcoin blockchain, which leads the market. And that's why even if you don't care about Bitcoin, even if you don't hold it, you should be interested in this. Because you want Bitcoin to do well if you want XRP to do well, because XRP has never hit a new all-time high and never gone off on its own in a tremendous rally without the rest of the market entering expansion, which is led by Bitcoin. That's why that should matter to you. Here's a post from Stock Money Lizards, very popular analyst, 129,900 followers on social media platform X. He's got a Bitcoin chart on the left from 2016 and one on the right from 2024, and he said, a little bit of sideways before we see the same thing happen in 2016 after the old all-time high was broken. And this is just one more cherry-picked example because I keep finding this all over the place now, especially over most of the last week or so. Broad expectation that this thing's going to go and that it's going to be a repeat of a previous cycle. Here's a post from chart analyst Mikey Bull Crypto. It's a Bitcoin USD chart. It says, Bitcoin displays a broadened wedge on the daily chart and the breakout is closer than you think. Breakout target is $85,000. Get ready. Here's a post also from Mikey Bull Crypto. Hashtag altcoins, the last phase of preparation before the maniac run sets in. Only the strong ones survive the weary days. And that is certainly true. There are, probably fewer people paying attention now than there were, a month or two ago. I still think there's a lot of focus, relatively speaking, on crypto, but the most eyeballs are going to be on this asset class during the maniac phase. And for those of you looking at the screen, you can see what he's talking about here. If it looks like the last cycle and the cycle before that, yes. And so far to this point, it has played out like that, as we should expect. None of this should be a terrible surprise. Here's a post from chart analyst Jelly. After a long period of accumulation, altcoins are consolidating right above the breakout area. This opportunity does not come around very often, and yet all you have to do to take advantage is to hold on to your coins and wait. This is going a lot higher. Let's roll. That is spot on. I mean, for those of you look at the screen, you already know, but look at the last market cycle accumulation, 720 days. The cycle before that, back in 2015, 2016, before we had the 2017 blow-off, 450 days of accumulation. And so it varies a little bit, of course. History doesn't perfectly repeat, just kind of rhymes with itself. And now you can see we had 650 days of accumulation for this market cycle, and we're in this reaccumulation phase. He's calling it here pre-bull market consolidation, same thing. Hanging out above support here. Is this time different? Or are we going to see crazy, crazy activity for altcoins and face melting action? And I'm telling you, I think that we are going to. And absolutely XRP is going to be a part of that because it's irrational to think otherwise. That's my opinion. XRP is absolutely going to be a major player of this, and it's going to surprise all of the XRP haters and the toxic Bitcoin maximalists. It's going to surprise them. Because they're in denial. They have XRP derangement syndrome. Here's a post from chart analyst Crypto Insight UK, and he said XRP versus Bitcoin monthly. On the monthly time frame, XRP price versus Bitcoin is in reversal territory. The last 3 entries into this have seen significant moves to the upside. Additionally, the monthly RSI is at its lowest ever reading versus Bitcoin. The last 2 occasions we saw this level, we saw a subsequent move of 5,251% and 498% versus Bitcoin. Will we see something similar? Honestly, who knows? I can see many potential positive catalysts incoming for XRP. We are just looking for something to set the narrative alight and trigger some price action. Once we get this, sentiment can change extremely quickly. Yes, and that is what happens. And so that's the reason I wanted to highlight this. There are all sorts of analysts that are highlighting stuff like this, and it's just data. You draw your own conclusions. The data is the data as far as the RSI, the Bollinger Band, so on and so forth. The data is the data. So you decide whether or not you think history is going to kind of rhyme with itself or not. I think it's going to. You decide for yourself, and nobody knows for sure. And so he's being intellectually honest. He says, will we see something similar? Honestly, who knows? Well, nobody technically knows. But let's talk in terms of probability. I think the answer is more likely to be yes on that question. And as he stated at the end there, he said sentiment can change extremely quickly. Yes. People who don't know anything about XRP, people who have never heard of it, because there'll be new people jumping into crypto. Anybody that's not paying it, I'm telling you, the sentiment changes fast and the money flows in, because as soon as a green candle hits with some force, that's when the idiot typical lemming retail speculators are interested. They're not interested in it when you're interested in it at the lower prices, when it seems doom and gloomy, right? All of us listening here is XRP's hovering around, low 50-something cents range. People don't want it at that price. It hasn't been moving. It's the Dino coin. It hasn't had a new all-time high in 6 years. Why would we be interested in that? It needs to be worth way more than that before they'll put that's what the thought process. They're saying to themselves, it needs to be worth way more than 53 cents for me to put my money in that. Show me $5 first. And I'll bet, okay, here it is. I'm going to sell at least a portion of my XRP at that. I'll sell maybe 5-6% around that. Here you go. You didn't want it 53 cents. You like it now, it's $5. There you go, you idiot stick. Go for it. Have fun. That's pretty much how it is. And it's because the typical lemming retail speculator doesn't know what the hell they're doing, and they're too excitable. And people do FOMO in. They do it in any crypto, just about. And it's not, by the way, this behavior, to be clear, it's not something that we only observe in nature in the crypto asset class. No, this happens in equities as well. It's just that it's more pronounced in crypto. There's more of an excitement about it, and there's less money in it, so it's easier to get a greater multiplier effect. But no, the same behavior occurs everywhere. And so I'm also, for my retirement, I've set it up like this since 2017. I'm not counting on crypto at all for retirement, just in case on the off chance I'm wrong or I screw this up somehow or my stuff somehow gets stolen, who knows? So I'm not counting on that. But I will tell you this, I'm absolutely counting on the same idiot market behavior when it comes to stocks for me to be able to retire. The same idiots pushing price up, irrational bids. That's what I'm counting on. I'm counting on it in crypto. It's just more pronounced here. And there's nothing cruel about that. There's nothing evil about it. I'm observing that my species happens to make a bunch of stupid ass decisions when it comes to investing. I'm responding accordingly. That's it. That's all it is. Bunch of idiot sticks out there. I'm just observing that and acting accordingly, the way that I think it makes sense. Which is to say, I buy stuff and then I do nothing. And when something's going up in price, I don't chase after it. No thank you, sir or madam. That's it. Those are just some of my very basic rules here. So I'm ready for this thing to kick off. I think we're going to have one hell of a time. And whether it happens this month, whether it happens next month, next quarter, we're not going to have to wait that much longer. That's my expectation. I have not spoken like this for most of the 5+ years that I've been running this YouTube channel. I started this channel a year after I was in crypto, so it was I think it was December 14th, 2018. For those of you who've been following me for a while, I don't normally talk like this, but we are in a bull market, so it makes sense to talk like this now. This is the time to be excited, and I hope that all of you have gotten as positioned as you want to be, because there's, if this really is the tail end of the reaccumulation phase, like this is pretty much it, if the analysts are correct. So we'll find out together what happens. I'm just telling you, in my humble opinion, it makes sense to be very excited for what is at hand. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.